Hi friends, Hernan here, SimplyNAS West Coast. We have some updated news regarding NAS technology. Yesterday, QNAP announced its all-new GM1000. What this is it's one NAS form factor with two NAS systems built inside of it. Very exciting news in the NAS industry. Okay, so let's break this down and talk about this all-new GM1000 from QNAP. Check this out.
The GM1000 specifications. Storage requirements in business. Business require multiple NAS for serving different applications. Example, virtualization, file sharing, data archive, serving different departments, data backup, or disaster recovery. Storage investments in business. The dilemma of old NAS. Poor performance for new applications. Run out of storage. Hardware reached its service life. The destiny of an old NAS. Dispose of an old NAS and buy a new one. Move the old NAS to other applications. Has the hardware reached its end of life? How to make an economic investment. The GM1000. Dual NAS with double performance. Two independent NAS within a 3U enclosure. Two NAS shares 770 watt redundant power supply. Ship with QuTS Hero operating system. As we can see here, within the GM, we see the B side and the A side. The B side contains a TNS-h1083X. The A side contains the TNS-h1083X. Composition of the GM1000. The enclosure is the TEC-2N16 enclosure. The model name is TEC-2N16-770W. It's a 3U 16-bay chassis. It supports two NAS nodes, 16 3.5 drives or 2.5 SATA drive carrier, two 770 watt redundant power supplies. Inside of the enclosure, you will find two TNS-h1083X NAS systems, Intel Xeon E processor, 4 DDR4 DIMM, two 10 gigabit SFP Plus and 2.25 gigabit LAN ports, two U.2 NVMe Gen3 X4 SATA 6 gigabit S ports, two U2 NVMe Gen3 X4 SATA 6 to U2 NVMe Gen3 X4 SATA 6 gig ports, two M.2 ports NVMe Gen3 X2. We have a swappable design, swappable NAS design, easy maintenance and parts upgrade, system upgrade by replacing the NAS node only. Save money on enclosure purchasing. Disk assignment. We will look at A side and B side. A side NAS, two U.2 ports. On the B side, two U.2 ports. HDD for A side NAS and HDD for B side NAS. Each NAS supports 10 drives, 8 3.5 or 2.5 SATA hard drives, two 2.5 U.2 SSDs. Supports NVMe Gen3 X4 SSDs, supports SATA 6 gig SSDs, supports QDA UMP QDA-U2MP. High-speed U.2 SSD for system drives. The ZFS file system requires high-speed SSDs to improve system read and write performance. The TNS-h1083X provides two U.2 SSD ports, which supports NVMe Gen3 X4. It can provide up to 800K random reads and IOPS and 100K random write IOPS. Here we can see the NVMe SAS SATA SSD IOPS. NVMe Gen3 4 SSDs. Here we see the SAS 12 gig SSDs. Here we see the SATA 6 gig SSDs. We can see the random read in blue and the random write in gold. Economic and space-saving design. with two TNS-h1083. Let's compare economic and space-saving designs of two NAS systems versus one GM1000. We will compare two TNS-h1083X-U-RP versus one GM1000. We'll compare the space requirement, we'll compare the power supply, and we'll compare the maintenance and upgradability. First, we'll start with the two NAS systems. Two NAS systems are 4U space and rack, while the GM1000 is 3U rack. Now, let's look at the power supply. The two NAS systems, 300 watts, and it's four of them. The GM1000, 770 watts times two, so it's two of them. Maintenance. Need to remove the complete NAS systems from the rack to maintain the NAS system. Whereas the GM1000 is swappable NAS node. Ease of hardware upgrade and service. Upgradability. You need to purchase a new NAS system with other TNS-h1083X-U-RP NAS systems. However, with the GM1000, upgrade and replace the NAS node only. System block diagram. System block design. Here we see the enclosure of the TEC-N16. Beneath here we see both of the NAS systems, the TNS-h1083X, and on the other side is the other TNS-h1083X. We see here the memory DIMM slots, the PCIe Gen3 X8 slots, the PCIe Gen3 4 slots, as well as the other NAS system as well. We see the two 2.5 gigabit Ethernet ports, the two 10 gigabit SFP plus ports, and two M.2 ports. The same thing on our BNAS system. We do see here our Xeon CPU as well as our PCH, our SATA controller, and in the rear are our two U.2 ports for SSDs, same as our B side. The TEC-2N16 enclosure specifications. We'll start with the side A, the HDD for A side of the NAS system. We'll look at the A side NAS OLED LED indicators, OLED on and off button. These all have lockable trays. Let's look at the B side. The B side as well with B side NAS OLED and LED indicators, OLED on and off button. Let's take a closer look at the front panel indicator. We see number 1 is our NAS power supply. Number 2 is our NAS fan status. Number 3 is our NAS system temperature. Number 4 is our A/B side indicator. In this case, it is an A. Enclosure power status, NAS system status, and OLED on and off button. Here we can see the TEC-2N16 rear view. Here we see the rear of the TEC-2N16. We can see the 770 watt redundant power supplies. Here we can see where the B side NAS drawer is and the A side NAS drawer is. This is where our NAS nodes will be. And here is a user interface and the login page. We'll first log in to the TNS-h1083-1D87A side. User interface, the storage manager. It displays disk info of each side. So here we can see A side and B side. It'll give us a status of our hard drives. User interface, the storage manager. We can display the selected disk. In this case, we can indicate which NAS we would like to see. User interface, network and virtual switch. Display LAN info on the side. So here we can see the A side of our NAS system, as well as select the B side of our NAS system. The TNS-h1083X NAS node specification. The TNS-h1083X-E2234-8G. Here we see Intel Xeon E-2234 4-core 8-thread 3.6 GHz processor. This turbo boosts to 4.8 gigs. It has 8 gigs DDR4 ECC RAM, 2 4 gig ports. It comes with 8 gig DDR4 ECC RAM, which is 2 4 gig modules, 2 10 gigabit Ethernet SFP Plus, and 2 2.5 gigabit LAN ports, 2 U.2 ports NVMe Gen3 X4 SATA 6 gigs, 2 M.2 ports NVMe Gen3 X2. Now, we also have the TNS-h1083X-E2236-16. This has the Intel Xeon E-2236 6-core with 12 threads, 3.4 GHz processor that can turbo boost to 4.8 GHz if needed. It comes with 16 gigs of DDR4 ECC RAM, and that's 2 8 gig modules, 2 10 gigabit SFP Plus, and 2 2.5 gig LAN ports. It also comes with 2 U.2 ports, NVMe Gen3 X4, which are SATA 6 gig, the 2 M.2 ports, NVMe Gen3 X2. It's powered by an Intel Xeon D enterprise processor, the Intel Xeon E-2236. It has 6 cores and 12 threads, 3.4 gigs, and can boost to 4.8 gigs. Now, the Intel Xeon E-2234, it comes with 4 cores and 8 threads, 3.6 gigs, and it can boost to 4.8 gigs if needed. It comes with ECC memory, error correcting code, running reliability without data corruption. Intel Xeon processor supports ECC, which automatically detects and repairs single bit errors on the fly. It supports up to 128 gigs of RAM. TNS-h1083X NAS node rear view. Here we see our 2 PCIe slots. These PCIe slots are PCIe Gen3 X8 CPU. The next one is a PCIe Gen3 X4 PCH. 4 USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type A ports. On the top here we have 2 U.2 ports, supports NVMe Gen3 X4 SATA 6 gig SSDs. Here we have 2 2.5 gigabit LAN ports. Here we have 2 10 gigabit SFP Plus LAN ports. Here is our console port. Here is our power button. Let's take a look at the TNS-h1083X NAS node internal design. We're looking at 3 6cm system cooling fan, 2 2280 M.2 NVMe Gen3 X2 ports here. On this side we have 2 PCIe slots. On the back we have 2 U.2 drive carriers. Here we have our Intel Xeon CPU. Here we have our 4 DDR4 long DIMM RAM slots. Ordered information, very important on the SKUs. SKU GM1001 and SKU GM1002. The enclosure is the same. The enclosure is always a TEC 2N16-770 watt. The NAS node will vary depending on your needs. The first one is a 2 TNS-h1083X-E2234-8G. This one comes with the Intel Xeon E-2234. Memory 8 gigs, so it comes with 2 4 gigabit modules. Next, we are looking at 2 TNS-h1083-E2236-16 This one is the Intel Xeon E-2236 with a memory of 16 gigs, and that's 2 8 gig modules. GM1000 applications. Hardware requirements for hybrid mount. Hybrid mount consumes CPU resources. The CPU computing power and cores are key factors. The best NAS for QNAP hybrid mount. 2 NAS double up the computing power. Each NAS provides different cloud gateway services. Services offloaded and cross backup. A-side NAS provides file sharing via CIFS and FTP services, while B-side NAS provides iSCSI services. Here we see QNAP SnapSync block base and HBS backup file base. Affordable data backup NAS for multiple ES NAS systems. The QES and QuTS Hero are ZFS-based operating systems. SnapSync offers an efficient way to synchronize and back up your data. Here we see our dual controllers, the EC2486DC and another EC2486DC, connected to a 10 gigabit switch and connected to our GM1000. You see side A and side B, whilst connected to an ES1686DC. FC, Fibre Channel SAN storage, backup and copy data management. Here we see the A-side NAS providing FC storage services. And number 2, sync FC LUN to B-side NAS via 10 gigabit LAN. Number 4, mount iSCSI LUN from CDM. And number 3, clone iSCSI LUN via QNAP snapshot clone. QNAP 32 gig and 16 gig fiber channel adapter. Partnering with industry-leading FC adapter vendors for the most economical FC SAN storage solutions. Supports Marvell and Atto FC adapters. The TL SATA JBOD series enclosures with multi-channel SATA 6 gig transfer. A single SFF 8088 cable up to 4 SATA 6 gigabit equals 24 gigabit transfer speeds. Using multiple cables can achieve up to 64 gigabits between the host and JBOD. Ready to use by including a QXP PCIe expansion card and an SFF cable with the TL unit. Supports NAS QTS, QTS Hero, Windows, Ubuntu Linux. Expand your storage space with SAS 12 gigabit JBODs. The SAS 12G 2E SAS adapter. You can daisy chain up to 8 QNAP SAS JBODs. The REXP series. Each NAS supports up to 138 hard drives and 1 petabyte of raw capacity. Versatile expansion possibilities. The QNAP QM2 card. 40, 25, 10 gigabit Ethernet cards. Fiber channel adapters, USB 3.2 Gen 2 expansion cards, or SAS 12 gigabit adapters. The GM1000 is your best choice. For more information and pricing and availability of the new GM1000, feel free to reach out to us. You can contact us at sales@simplynas.com or visit our website at www.simplynas.com. If you've liked this video, please click on the like button and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching.